I'm not ashamed to say I polished off the entire pint of butterscotch ice cream, 700 calories and 60 grams of carbohydrates. Before I went to bed, I checked my blood sugar again, and it was at 5.4. Welcome back to another Saturday Real Talk morning bike ride. We're out a little earlier today than usual. I'm not even sure the sun is up, which for most of you that might not be a big deal. But for me, that's pretty darn early. But we had to adjust again because today is a travel day. Today's a long travel day. I know I've talked about doing my triathlon training workouts on travel days before, but this is the first time where I've run into a main bike ride and a travel day in the same day. So the app was asking for 2 hours this morning, which I feel I have that in me. It was a pretty good week, but I think we're gonna aim for an hour and a half because I would like to be on the road by 10 a.m. We've got 381 miles to cover today, and I'd like to be in Indianapolis by dinner time. It was a good training week. We had a good bike ride last Saturday. That video should be up on the channel. I did not do the run on Sunday because I still didn't want to take any chances that I was going to further hurt my back. I wanted to give it a little bit more time. I've been doing some walking and some light sprints, and that seems to be helping. Monday was our travel day. We crossed back into the US on Monday, made it to the campground we're at now in Manton, Michigan for a gathering of nomads rally. I'll leave a link to that organization in the description. Go check it out. They do a lot of good work in the RV community. Tuesday was my interval bike ride, and I did it along that main road that we just turned off of, and it went really well. I was really happy with it. My back felt good. I think it was 32 minutes, covered 10 kilometers. Thursday, I did my interval run, and that's the first time since the back injury. But I actually went out and pushed it a little bit, and it went well. It wasn't a complicated interval. It was 2 minutes of slow jog, followed by 2 minutes of a zone 5 pace, which for me is between 7.5 and an 8-minute kilometer. And I was able to maintain pace for the entire 30-minute run, which I'm very happy with. And that was 2 days ago. I took a rest day on Friday and no problems with my back. I just realized I forgot a workout. The interval run was on Thursday. The interval bike was on Wednesday. Tuesday was a strength workout. I kept it simple, and the RV park that we're staying at has a 1.5 mile trail back through the woods. So I put on my 40-pound weight vest and went for a half-an-hour hike in the woods. I know that's not a real strength workout with kettlebells like the app actually calls, but I do enjoy rucking. I always have. And with 40 pounds on, it is a pretty good workout. So I enjoy doing that. And I might make that one of my regular strength workouts during my baseline phases, only because I enjoy it. Granted, it may not be as effective as slinging weight around, but it's a lot more fun. So it was a good week, especially post-injury. I'm very happy with it. And we can also talk about the weight loss. I've laid out what I'm doing in the 1 or 2 videos previous to this, so you can go back and check that out. But a quick summary for anybody new, I am eating a carnivore diet, which I've been doing for 3 years. And although the success has been slow, as far as the weight loss goes, every other biomarker is fantastic, and I enjoy eating that way. I think it's incredibly healthy and beneficial. But I have been struggling with the weight loss, only because my body has been so messed up from 43 years of abuse. It's taken a while to sort things out, but reducing my overall food consumption, and I did that by counting calories, which is something I will admit most people do not have to do on carnivore. I do, and it's worked. I dropped 11 pounds the first week. Things kind of leveled off and bounced around a little bit. I guess I plateaued for about a week, but then I've noticed this week, I think I'm down overall near 12 pounds. I'm back down a couple of pounds this week. Things are starting to trend in the downward direction again, which I'm really happy with. I checked my weight this morning. I'm less than half a pound off my all-time low. And that all-time low was at the tail end of a 6 or 7 day sardine fast. All things considered, I'm pretty happy with the way the new eating plan is working out. It seems to be doing exactly what it needs to do. And that also includes the fact that friends of ours who we met up with at this park that we full-time RV with introduced us to a carnivore-friendly ice cream. Now, I don't know how I feel about that statement, but I do like ice cream. And whether or not it's carnivore-friendly or not depends on whether or not you think honey belongs on a carnivore diet. Most carnivores will tell you it doesn't because it's a sugar and because it's bee vomit. It's not exactly an animal product. Others will tell you that bees are animals. To me, I don't care. I like honey. I don't eat a lot of it. But this carnivore ice cream that they introduced us to is called Ice Cream for Bears, and it's only sweetened with raw honey. No gums, no other sweeteners, no funny ingredients, just dairy and honey, and it is fantastic. Ice cream has been consumed in the last week. arguably a little bit too much. But what I discovered is if when I have the ice cream, if I'm still maintaining my calorie control, I haven't felt hungry, because I find 350, 400 calories of ice cream to be quite filling. And there's a lot of fat in it, and even some protein. So it's okay. No problem with it at all. It's a nice little treat. But it has not had a negative impact on my weight loss. I'm not going to eat it every day, but every now and then when I'm looking for a little treat, it seems like it might be a pretty good solution. Hey, look, an Outback. I also noticed something interesting about my blood sugar the first time I had that ice. We had planned a cookout with friends, and I knew the calorie count on that meal was going to be a little high based on everything that we were preparing. Cheddar jalapeno sausages, garlic kielbasa, we did steak bites and a Parmesan garlic sauce, butter sauce. There was some chicken that I had marinated in a big jar of pickled jalapeno brine, and they had also said that they had found this ice cream. So I knew there was going to be some excess calories. So during the day I limited myself to my my sardine meal. I checked my blood sugar at 4 p.m. before we went for dinner, and I was at 5.4 millimoles, which is absolutely average for me. Then after that, before dinner, I went and joined some of the men from the group for a series of lighthearted sporting events. We did football, bowling, home run derby, and an interesting variation on basketball that involved a grass field and baskets, square baskets, different holes for different points. That was about an hour. Went and had dinner. That ended about 6:30. At 7 o'clock, the RV park was doing Sundays for the kids. So us and friends, we grabbed our ice cream for the bears. I went over to join them. I'm not ashamed to say I polished off the entire pint of butterscotch ice cream. 700 calories and 60 grams of carbohydrates in that little pint of ice cream. It was incredible. Finished up there about 8 o'clock. At 9:30, before I went to bed, I checked my blood sugar again, and it was at 5.4. So despite all that protein and the ice cream, if my blood sugar did spike, within 90 minutes it was right back down to its baseline of 5.4, which I was quite surprised by. Further proof of a couple of things. One, all this exercise lately has really improved, dare I say, restored my metabolic flexibility, so my body can respond properly to carbohydrate intake. I think the other thing that made a difference, and I can't quantify this, was mostly the basketball game that I played right before dinner, because if I had any glycogen in my muscles, that sucked every last tiny little bit of it out. It was a pretty intense game, and you know, that's also a good time to enjoy carbohydrates if you want to have some, is right after some intense exercise or some long endurance exercise, because your muscles will soak up a lot of that sugar out of your bloodstream, which means your insulin response is lower. At least that's my understanding. So I think all of those things in combination, I don't know if there's an ideal time to have ice cream, but if there is, that's an ideal time to have ice cream. Long story short, ice cream good, blood sugar good, Steve good, because my weight was down a bit the next morning. So hey, win-win. There's the sunshine starting to break through the clouds, brighten things up. And there we go. We just pulled back into the campground. 25.5 kilometers. So we'll be right at 26 and we get back to the trailer. 1 hour and 27 minutes. Actually made it back a little bit faster than I thought we would. Another excellent bike ride, another milestone in the books. I'm gonna wrap it up right here, because when I get back to the trailer, we got about an hour to get packed up and get on the road. Want to be out of here by 10 o'clock. If you made it this far in the video, everybody, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the comments and the support I've been getting. It's really helpful to hear that encouragement. And also let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about honey? If you practice a low carb or a whole food or a carnivore diet, let me know. And let me know what you think about using honey as a sweetener. I think as far as the ice cream goes, I'm going to stick with it. But don't tell anybody, don't tell Coach. Again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'll talk to you guys next week on another Real Talk Saturday bike ride. Thanks for watching.